Hey guys, well I'm back before Christmas. Anyways, remember in the last video I told you that we go to the antique mall every week and I usually pick up one or two things. Well, today was one of those days and I kind of picked up a little pile of stuff today and I thought I'd just come on here and show you uh, some new stuff I got. Well, not really new, used new stuff that I picked up today at the antique mall. And I got some records and some books, and none of it I have listened to or really looked at yet. So we're both going to see it together. I still got them in the bags and the packages and whatnot. So if you're going to see some unwrappings, kind of like Christmas presents or something like that, and if you don't want to do that, then too bad. Anyway, I got some stuff for you to look at. First thing, look at this cowboy hat I found over there. Man, I just now look how tall this thingy is right here. The top of it. But I got this new cowboy hat, and I actually found one that fit. Um, Y'all know I like my hats. It's really hard for me to find hats because I have this such a huge coconut head, not really a coconut, a watermelon head or something. It's huge and it kind of weighs my whole body down, and I think I lose a couple of inches every year because my head just keeps getting bigger and bigger as I get older. And anyway, I got this cowboy hat, and originally this was from Roy Fry's Western Wear, Kansas Avenue and 24 Highway, Topeka, Kansas. Resistol, self-conforming triple X beaver. But this is a pretty nice hat I picked up down there, and that's going to be my hat for the video. But to the packages. First off, you know what? We're going to do things a little backwards today. Today I'm going to show you some books first. Just to kind of change it up a little bit. You see my same old thing. I do the records and I do the books and this and that, and we'll just kind of mix it up today. Package, I went to the used bookstore. It's called the Dusty Bookshelf. It's also downtown, a couple blocks from where I buy my records. And we're just going to I'm not going to take them out of the plastic or anything. I'm just going to kind of show you what I picked up. And this is the Big Bubble. Okay, a big bubble what? Anyways, she could make a man or break him. Now, I won't get too much into this because that will make this an adult video, which I guess I don't know what the heck is supposed to be going on with all that stuff. But anyways, next we have Don Lorenzo's Bride, Juanita Savage. He made her feel like a slave girl parading before her new master. Ooh. And another paperback. You all know I like Mr. Kerouac back here on the poster. And this is a book I don't have in my collection, and I found a paperback. Dr. Sachs, Jack Kerouac. This is one I don't know too much about, but I kind of looked it up a little, and it talked about this is his favorite book according to Mr. Kerouac himself because he was allowed to just kind of run on with his thoughts or his he kind of has those his writing sort of stream of thought, that's what it's called, where you just kind of go with what's on your mind, kind of like how I'm talking here real fast and things are just popping out and I don't know what it is, but it could come to some other cloud and fall off a cliff. I don't know. Anyways, um, apparently he was on the old Mary Jane when he wrote this, so we'll see how that goes. It could be quite psychedelic or something like that. Now we get to the records. We're putting the records in the middle here. They're in this another bag. That's their fancy bags here at the antique mall. Um, and speaking of plastic bags, Lawrence has it on the whatever committee they have for the city here. They're talking about doing away with plastic bags in the next couple of years and going back to paper or the you know, you go in there and sometimes you have to buy these cloth, or it's your option to buy these cloth bags to put your groceries in and stuff. So they're going back to where we were, to where they should have stayed in the first place before they started having all this plastic stuff, plastic bags, plastic bottles, and all that sort of stuff. They should have just stuck with glass, actually. Glass bottles, which were recyclable, not recyclable, reusable. When I was a kid, me and my uncle would run around up and down the alleys with, sometimes we'd have a shopping cart we stole from the grocery store or something like that. And we would search for pop bottles. And I think you got like 10 cents a bottle or something like that for the old Coke bottles and things along those lines, aluminum cans. And I remember there used to be this old man down the street, and he always had that shopping cart, and he was going up and down the alleys all over Topeka. And eventually, my grandmother knew him, and eventually, at some point, I remember walking with her, and we seen this guy by his house or somewhere, and he had a brand new car in the driveway. I don't remember what kind of car it was, and he had his own house, and he said, "Well, I paid for this car by selling all these cans and bottles." So there you go. Anyway, that's that little story. Let's get off of that. Back to the records. I have a couple of compilation type things here. The first one is 64,000 Jazz. And I'm going to go ahead and take that out of this plastic so you can see it better. 64,000 Jazz LP on Columbia. It's a compilation of jazz type songs from 1955, I believe, and it has a mixture of people: Benny Goodman, Honeysuckle Rose, Louis Armstrong. Benny Goodman, wasn't he the guy that disappeared over the ocean somewhere? And Louis Armstrong, Ain't Misbehavin', Eddie Condon, Harry James, Buck Clinton, Duke Ellington, Dave Brubeck. Dave Brubeck. I've seen a lot of his album covers, and a lot of them have those cheesecake type photos on them of a model or a pretty girl or something. Sarah Vaughan Perdido, amongst others. I want to check that out. It looks like it'll be a pretty good listen. I like that picture on the front. It's actually some people that are looking at checking out a game show on TV. Yeah, Columbia, what do they call that? A 3i or something? And next, we have another compilation, and that is The Stars of the Grand Ole Opry in stereo. It's a limited edition. I think it has 3 or 4 albums inside, and oh, I didn't even notice there was a booklet. There's a booklet inside of there too, and you're just now seeing this with me because I didn't even know there was a booklet. And it has pictures and history and things of some of the people that are featured on this album. I want to read that better later. It just kind of gives a little bio of each player that's on here. There's a Hank Lachlan, Roger Miller, those type of people. And it has a lot of the old Grand Ole Opry people that used to come on the TV, I remember, on the weekends even. They had a TV show, I believe. This has Jim Reeves, Kitty Wells, Archie Campbell, Dottie West, Connie Smith, Wade Ray, the Carter family. If you guys need to check out that. There's a documentary on PBS called The History of Country Music or something like that. And the very first episode, it features the Carter family. Um, Dang, I forget what it's called. Ken Burns directs it, and he has a lot of other good documentaries. Old Rattler, Detroit City, Orange Blossom Special by Bill Monroe, and people like that. It even has that lady on here that was always on the show. Let me look for it real quick. Minnie Pearl. Minnie Pearl is even on here. How to Catch a Man. If you all remember Minnie Pearl, she had that straw hat with the flowers, and it always had the price tag hanging off of it. Um, and lastly, I did pick up another collected poems of Robert Frost. Now the sleeve isn't in that great a shape. This one was printed in 1944. There's the inside there. Uh, and this was Beverly M. Boyd's book. It has her, what is it, a sticker or something with her signature on it. And this was $9. I'll go ahead and say the price. But it has a collection of his poems, just like it says. If there was a short one in here, I would try to read it. But a lot of, oh, here's some, no, I guess not. But anyway, there's Robert Frost. Oh, the telephone. Here we go. I don't know. I've never read this, never seen it before, so I don't even know if I'm going to be able to read it. But here we go. When I was just as far as I could walk from here today, there was an hour all still, when leaning with my head against a flower, I heard you talk. Don't say I didn't, for I heard you say, you spoke from that flower on the window sill. Do you remember what it was you said? First tell me what it was you thought you heard. I guess is the person answering back. Having found the flower and driven a bee away, I leaned my head, and holding by the stalk, I listened and thought, and I caught the word. What was it? Did you call me by my name, or did you say? Someone said, come. I heard it as I bowed. Bowed. I may have thought as much, but not aloud. Well, so I came. Okay. That was my first reading of that, and I guess he's listening into the flower like a telephone, and the flower's kind of making messages maybe from the beyond. I don't know. Anyways, the telephone, collected poems of Robert Frost. Now, I can read most of these, but a lot of these old poems and poets and things are just, it's hard for me to make sense of them because they use these strange words like, instead of saying over there or whatever, it says like O-E-R. I think that's what it's supposed to say, over, but it says O-er or O-er, O-er there. Why do they do that? I mean, do people talk like that in real life? There's someone. Do I go to my girlfriend and I'll say, "Well, I'll be over there." Well, I could, I guess, if I talked like that. Over there, I'll be over there. But anyways, that's my video for today. Calling over now. Weirdos unite. Oh, one more thing. There's my. I kind of updated my carving style here. This is the king to my new game set that I'm making. Um, he kind of looks like he's somewhere out on a windy day, and this one is carved all the way around. His beard's blowing, and his hairs are flowing, and he's like, "Oh, you dirty bastards!" Calling over and out, and weirdos unite.